Hello guys, and welcome back to another Kohan Duels video. We have today Game 2 of BoNT vs. Tau from the Kohan Ascension tournament. If you didn't watch Game 1, go and watch it. It was an absolutely amazing game. We had so much fun casting it, so much fun watching that. That was such a good back and forth. Definitely highly recommend that game. If you haven't watched it yet, I'm not going to tell you who won. You can just go back and watch it and see who won. But now we're on to Game 2, and I am not here myself. Again, I have my good friend, Points 2.
Fluke. Hey, how are you doing?
There we go.
Hey, I almost missed my cue.
That's okay, because we didn't talk about it. I just put you on the spot.
Stage left.
Trying to get you to say stuff exactly when I wanted you to.
Nice.
Chemistry's getting close. Not quite there yet. Alrighty.
We're not finishing each other's sandwiches yet. I mean, sentences.
Oh, well, give me your address. I got some half-eaten sandwiches here I can send you. Alrighty, let us dive into this. You ready, man?
Yeah, let's hit it.
Alrighty. And why don't you introduce the players this time?
In the black trunks, in the western side of the map, we have the Nationalist player, Tau.
Woo!
And in the eastern side of the map, absolutely hating Cave of Fear, we have BoNT.
Whoa.
In the orange trunks.
Look at that. Okay, so we got BoNT going for similar.
Early Scouts.
Similar as last time we see. He's going for the short scouts this time. He's not going for long scouts. You know, he does the long scouts on Destiny because he's going to try to immediately take that those Shadelings, Frozen Ruins. This time, he's just using them for scouting.
Using them for scouting. And also, you know, in Destiny, they kind of work pretty well against those Haroon, you know?
Yeah.
Haroon militia being pretty piddly, you know?
Absolutely. So on Caves, you know, Caves has the Megalith up here that you want to go and try to run around and get as soon as possible. So he might use the scouts for that. There's just more weird ground to cover that you want to look and scout and see what's going on. Over here, we have Tau doing the same thing. He went for scouts first, not for engineers first. Nationalist. And what do you think about that? About scouts first versus engineer first as Nationalist?
This is cheesy. This is cheesy for a Nationalist player. But it's usually an intention to steal ruins from the other player. Now, Nationalist players don't necessarily have any they don't really have any reason to be getting away with stealing ruins from another player with their one company limit.
Yeah.
But that can exactly be the reason why they get away with it, incidentally.
Yeah.
People will
because they don't expect it.
Ruins. Yeah, it's the element of what the fuck.
And look at this. I mean, he was able to get that Megalith off of BoNT. And now look at this. BoNT saw that. Oh, I thought both of them were going to just completely just make a beeline for the other Megalith. That would have been funny to watch. But
it's a mad world.
I know.
Race for it.
BoNT actually... Okay, I think they kind of are. I think BoNT...
yeah, that's what we have here.
BoNT tricked him out a little bit going down.
And also, you know, it's faster over the corrupt than the sand, and maybe Tau realized that, and that's why he rerouted himself. But a little bit of miss micro here, one player could lose a little bit of space.
There it is. Oh my god, that is so funny. All right, so
Run!
both of them got their ancient ruin, and both of them got a Megalith. I will say just one quick thing to say: up here is beach. It is not desert.
It is beach. Okay,
yes.
yeah.
That's beach. This is beach. This is beach. The only desert on the map is this area. And then these two little slips.
You know, in the eyes of BoNT, it's all sand. So.
In the eyes of BoNT, it is all sand. So that was interesting. They both got their ruins. So, and now after this, we got Tau going for the long engineers. He's going to do the exact same opening. You know what I mean? I think there's, as you've said, there's pretty limited options for Nationalist early game.
Yeah, you can settle, but it's really unsafe to settle, especially versus Royalist. It's a bad habit to be in. BoNT happens to be a more defensive player who will not likely harass you, so you can be a little bit more greedy. But even then, settling isn't that much more effective than taking an indie as far as GPM. It just has this long-term payoff.
So we're going to see settlers eventually, but he's going to be going for this Draga first. This Draga that's right there outside his base. He's got 2 military units, so he doesn't have to spend the money on the settlers. And he's going for the very, very standard Econ Nationalist opening, which is going to get him to that exact same plus 41 that he was at last game. Over here, now BoNT went, again, I think this is a very similar opening to what he did last game too. And yeah, now that we see, I think this might have been what happened last game where he had the blacksmith and then sold it for the library. We were wondering about that. So yeah, he does just go right for the quarry in his first settlement, and does not ever get it at his main. Which
okay, it's not a bad idea. You know, you get a little bit slower neighbors out, but at the same time, you can support your settlers. You know?
yeah, I'd say it's pretty standard. Like there's a lot of SIA builds that I do that do the same thing, and even like my council build that I usually does that too and gets the slower engineers at your first settlement.
Yeah, I was slow to warm up on that, but it's certainly something I think is viable and actually optimal a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, BoNT's moving over here, and this giant spider nest is such a focal point of this map. And BoNT kind of just runs right in, but yeah, it's 180 gold in this version of the map, as it is right now.
It's pretty swingy. Nationalist players can recover off of if another player gets that, just off the virtue and the strengths of Summoner's early timing. But it is rough if he doesn't manage to get that.
Exactly, and there always is the option. There's another spider nest up here, so if your opponent,
that's what I'd like to see. Yeah.
If your opponent gets this spider nest, if you let them and you just can't contest it, then you usually want to make a pretty quick push to get this top one, so that you even out that huge gold swing.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get your goal a little bit later, meaning you won't have as much time to get as much from it initially, because the other guy's got to get to invest it a bit faster and get the payoffs a bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely beats a 360 gold swing.
Exactly. And we see here Tau did get his indie, just like you said, and right after the indie, he got a settlers. And again, I think this is pretty standard for Nationalist, right? You get your engineers and your scouts, you get your first indie, that gets you up to that 4 company limit, and you're able to get your settlers at that point with still a company limit to spare.
As long as you have something to spend your gold on, you're happy as a Nationalist.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got those component slots.
Over here, let's take a look at the heroes. We haven't looked at that yet. So we got Kasim and Seth going on for Tau. This is going to be a very interesting engagement. Tau goes for the spider nest, and BoNT was sitting in the back and is now trying to punish him. As soon as Tau is almost done taking the spiders, BoNT is going to come up from the side and try to stop Tau and steal the spider nest from him, which looks like it's going to be very successful, and I will say probably very, very frustrating for Tau. I would be so annoyed if I was Tau.
I want to say he had a miss micro. He retreated into the enemy's line, or routed, it looks like. He either routed or retreated, and they were trying to path through them there. It's pretty devastating, almost killing that Kohan. Luckily, Seth, having his trailblazing for his company,
that
actually
really
allowed
helped
him to escape. Yeah.
Wow. So BoNT is pretty massively ahead right now, I will say.
Losing that engineer company is so big for Tau. Like,
I know.
If that had gone down, this is almost GG right there.
I mean, BoNT decimated Tau's army and stole the spider mine. Like, holy shit.
Tau, showing some hospitality. That wasn't a player error or a hijack. It was a gift.
Yes, exactly. We know how Tau felt like he owed BoNT something,
Yeah, BoNT needed some kind of edge. That went far better than I expected.
So over here, I mean, Tau's doing very good with his economy. Again, not doing anything cheesy. BoNT
if you look at that GPM,
plus 75.
This is going to be a huge factor right now because he's accruing that GPM and he has his components up, right? BoNT actually skipping his Drauga earlier to pressure that spider means that spider isn't going to be as impactful. He's sitting on the gold. He doesn't have something to spend it on besides military.
And he's getting more settlers. I mean, he's doing the standard.
Yeah, that's an option.
He's doing the standard BoNT thing.
But that's 75 GPM. It's gonna make it a little closer,
And no, I absolutely agree. This game is not over at all. And look, I mean, spider. Never mind. That's just spiders running out. I was about to say Tau's going up there, but I mean, now would be the time for Tau to go up there, and he might get lucky here.
Or he might run into spiders.
Yes, exactly. He could get lucky. He could get very unlucky.
You get unlucky running into the spiders, but then you also, at the same time, you are made aware that is empty. Right.
Look, I think he might actually be getting pretty lucky here and happen to go around the side that the spiders are not, or he's just purposely doing a pincer here.
Yeah. So either way, he has something that can get up there. Maybe he's aware of the timing. At 10 minutes that empties out.
Yeah. I will say I'll put this first plug in here. After this tournament, the maps have been updated. All the maps have been updated. Minor tweaks, but one of the big changes is that all nests now act as ruins, where there are no longer roaming monsters. There's no growth to the lair. There's just a certain amount of monsters in there. Once you go and take them, you get the money, and monsters never come out and attack.
Yeah, and that is quite a few games. I won't say have been won by that, but have definitely been influenced.
They've been swayed. They've definitely been swayed, especially on this map.
Yeah. Caves of Fear, bringing the spiders. Being arachnophobia is real, right?
Yes, it definitely is on this map. Okay, so we see Tau is getting out his first summoners. I bet he got the library at a second like he usually does. Tau's also really good at doing this. He'll sell the Carpenter Guild for a Woodmill at his first. He did that last game too, just to get that little bit of extra money you get from it. He doesn't need the Carpenter Guild anymore.
This is a very interesting
yes
outpost. So he's getting the gold mine as well as a place to heal his company so that he can stage an attack on the spiders, which happen to be empty at the moment. I don't think he knows that. But
he doesn't. He's gonna know it soon if these guys keep moving.
Yeah, and even then, some players see that and they don't make the connection.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So we'll see how he reacts to that. He might be like, do you think he's staging to take this Royalist town? I mean, I can't.
Eventually,
yeah.
This is a position that controls this entire corner of the map. He can take the outpost. He can take that Kaldonite field. He has another place to fight from.
Okay, he's going for the spiders. And he's seeing it's empty, so he's feeling lucky, he's feeling good, and this is going to even things out a lot. And it's actually going to, I think, put it in Tau's favor, because Tau is still sitting at a much higher economy than BoNT. He's at plus 82, and BoNT is still sitting, well, he just got to plus 63, so evening it out, and BoNT is definitely taking more settlements here, as he is good at doing. I mean, look at this, he's up to 6 settlements right now, versus the, what is it, 4, versus the 3.
One of the things happening here is BoNT has a little bit more military, right? But he's not using it to create pressure currently, right? Meanwhile, Tau has a bare minimum amount of defense, but this is enough, right?
Yeah.
He's doubling down now. This is a good timing. After he got 80-something GPM, he built his second library,
Oh, look at this. He's going for the Royalist town. He's trying to draw them back to the militia. This is a very, very interesting push he's trying to do here. Now, I don't even know. These towns in the north are hard to take. Like, there's no way he could take it with just the companies. With the militia, we'll see.
He might be able to. Yeah, that is long engineers, and those are pretty good. Those scouts aren't dying in droves, so... And also, those are 2 good Kohan,
Yeah, let's take a second to talk about the Kohan. He's got Kasim.
This guy is fantastic at dealing with shadow elements, which also happen to inhabit most of the indies on Kohan Duels. So he's actually really good at taking out shadelings and such on other maps. On this map, spiders, courage is useful. Courage is a fantastic spell.
Yeah.
He's got decent melee stats. And Seth here, he provides trailblazing to his company.
And that's huge on this map. And he's just a solid archer.
Yeah, he's got good DPS stats for his archery, and it's Kaldonite damage from the get-go.
That is
a lot
great.
of Kohan need to get that to restore it to achieve.
Okay, we got the first attack going here. BoNT is doing the same kind of build that he did last game. He's doing those sorceresses behind the bowman. He's moving forward. He is starting to attack. And Tau does the right thing here. He sends some golems. He runs back to the safety of his militia.
I think he got tight micro after that first game where he got punished so heavily for leaving them engaged. If he can leave it behind the militia and just keep dumping elementals behind it, he'll be able to fend this off.
So we see here Tau is still sitting at all that money he has, and he's at plus 93. His economy is looking great right now.
That is rip-roaring, yeah.
Yeah, a lot is really going to come down to what happens here. If BoNT is able to push through and take this Draga, that fucking sucks. Because as you can see, Tau has really built up this Draga with a bank and an iron export.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is actually looking kind of scary for Tau.
Speaking of bank, he's banking 300 gold because he hasn't been able to settle.
Yes.
He capped out his military. I think that may have been a bit of a macro error on his end.
So he's got this settlement here. He's got the extra company limit. He's immediately getting out just full bowman. He just wants some DPS because he is feeling very threatened by BoNT now. And holy shit,
get those cells. I hope he can get those cells.
I know.
I bounce back. I really do too. In the north.
I really do too. He has got to sell this stuff because there's no way he's going to keep it at this point. Those golems are just not going to be enough to stop.
Those sorcerers are making such short work.
Oh my god! Did you see that?
I vastly underestimated that.
One of those golems got caught behind like a frozen footman right here. That's
what we call a two-for run. We call that a two-for run right there.
Amazing. Okay,
he's stuck between the mountain, a rock, and a hard place.
Yep, literally. Okay, so he got the sell off. He sells everything at the Draga. Now his econ tanks a bit, but he is sitting at so much money. Okay, he just spent a bunch of
that
money.
Royalist in the north. He can reboom. He can recover from this.
He did. He takes the Royalist. He spent a bunch of money. I'm trying to see what on.
BoNT might assume this game is over almost.
Yeah, I think he absolutely kind of does assume it's over, to be honest. Oh no,
And
I think he might have upgraded and then canceled it because his money just came back.
yeah, that's an upgrade in his main. I think he started to upgrade his main, and then he canceled it, and now he's perhaps upgrading one of his other villages. If you could F1, we could see with the upgrade bar, I think.
Yeah, nothing's upgrading.
Okay, yeah.
I think he was indecisive because I saw that money go up and down a couple times.
Yeah, he did it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's realizing he has the slots to spend money on in the Royalistville, and he's going to try and recover that way.
Dude, I am going to be so happy if I somehow just see him like amass an army of sorceresses from this Royalist and then beat BoNT with it.
Karmic justice.
Oh my god, that would be so funny. He's got these engineers up here, and I'm wondering if he's going to try to take one of these corners. And the fucking spiders. It seems too that they always attack the person who's already like moraled out of the game, who's already sad about something that happened, and the spiders just add that insult to injury.
Right. You know, there's two ways of viewing this: as something that's a roaming pest, or it's free experience. You know.
That's a good point. Okay, so let's look what's going on. Let's go over to BoNT's heroes. We haven't looked at them. So he's got Azura and Lucius. What do we got to say about them?
Azura is a pretty standard fireball Han. Ice Shield is pretty good. I think it gives her some DV versus ranged attacks specifically.
Yeah, it says wreaks havoc on projectiles. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, she does have 100% magic, which I think is standard for most Mage Hans. Fireball checker, pretty good.
Yep. And Lucius is a recovery Han. Courage and recovery, interesting.
So as opposed to something like a protection Han, he's actually he protects morale and he provides single target healing. I think those are actually pretty useful versus Council, which can be a bit of a hole in Royalist. In the Royalist matchup is the morale damage. Like they have no answer for it really.
Oh, absolutely, from all the lightning bolts.
Yeah, the morale damage from the lightning bolts, and horses have a lot of hit points, so recovery gets some good use.
Tau is taking a settlement up here. Tau is just running these scouts into BoNT's main.
He wants to see what's happening.
He does. They were in skirmish mode, it looked like, which is I'm hoping he doesn't actually try to get into an engagement here, but
yeah, he's not really good at engagement angle to take that line.
He's seeing what's happening, and look, BoNT is moving out through the desert. He really wants to. I guess he's going to try to get a foothold in the middle. Interesting play going towards the middle here instead of continuing to push. I guess he was just kind of threatened by this choke point.
He may have been able to push through there potentially with Tau being spread out as he is.
I know. I'm really surprised he didn't, honestly. That was kind of the natural progression of where he was going. He could have continued to just outpost. He could have even taken this iron and just continued to push this way.
Yeah, he did take that Coldenite Spire, the Coldenite field down there.
Yes.
And that's huge for Royalists
we can see
have issues getting enough mana, you know?
Tau got his up here too with a settlement next to it. So Tau is doing some really good stuff in the north, honestly. And we see plus 82 versus plus 87. So their econs are pretty even right now. As seems to be the case a lot of the time, BoNT is sitting on a lot of resources. So I imagine we're going to see some goons coming out pretty quickly with that plus 13. He doesn't actually have to...
Would really like to see a flood of just like normal units, you know.
Yeah.
No support not really necessary. You could create a bunch of you could create short infantries, something to really just augment the front line of these companies and like weather the storm of elementalists. Because right now he actually does win a straight fight if he were to pick one, but he's playing a little bit conservatively.
He's playing very conservatively, and I feel like he doesn't have to be. I feel like he has a great military right here. He was really ahead. Taking the Draga from Tau was huge in this game, and that set him really far ahead, and he hasn't quite capitalized on it in any real significant way, and he's let Tau get away with doing a lot of sneaky things.
Because I'm actually surprised you raised
that. Oh my god, he's going for the Nexus.
This is dangerous. Those fighters are healthy, and Tau is watching this. He sees that it's under siege. He's moving in
and this is what usually happens. This is why trying to take the Nexus on this map is so risky. Because your opponent's always going to have it scouted. It's right in the middle of the map. They're going to know BoNT engineers go down. They're going to know that it's happening, and they're going to punish you for it.
Yep.
Because it's so hard to take. And I mean, as you can see, it's an assault for it, and it gives all these amazing resources. So if you can take it, it's huge. But it's very risky, and it's usually not until the late game.
And sorcerers are really effective at taking them, actually. As you can see, these stuns and everything, they can stun half of the militia, probably.
Yeah.
But with the enemy player being allied to that militia, you're just, you're in a really sour spot. Those dragoons are absolutely going to push this way over.
This was really bad for BoNT.
Yeah, he raised that Draga. He could have held it and pushed from there.
He lost 2 bowmen and Nears.
And he stayed engaged, really. This is also an issue. He could have tried to retreat.
Oh my god.
He didn't want to give up. He dug his heels in, and he got clapped for it, pretty much.
There's no other way to say that was just a debacle.
That was a debacle.
And BoNT gives the quick GG from that.
He's not wanting to play that out.
He
could potentially recover, but the other player's likely to get that fort at this point, and then from there, he can just spam out as many mana companies as he'd like, really.
Yeah, taking the Nexus is so huge because you get all those resources, and you also have this town right in the center with such a strong militia.
Yeah. And you can augment that militia. You can do some cheesy stuff. You can go to Watchtowers, Fortified Wall, I think is probably preferable.
Yeah, you can go to Fortified Wall, you can get a Garrison if you really want. You can go all out on it, and because you don't really have to build anything else there because it's already giving you those amazing resources. Wow, that was... That was a sad game, honestly.
BoNT was in such a strong position after taking that Draga in the south. Ideally, he could have just held it, built some basic resources there, repaired it, and pushed into the main, at which point we have one player who is northbound with no presence in the south, and one player who completely controls the south.
Yeah, and that
that's unrecoverable.
That would have made for an interesting game if we had the scenario where Tau was just up in the north. And like I said, he was building himself pretty well up there. He took the Royalist town, he took the Kuldite, he took those spiders. He could have expanded over here and got like the Syl and these guys. It could have been an interesting game that way. And you know what? I have to say, I feel like BoNT has done this before where he just overthinks Cave of Fear and tries to do these weird strategies on it every time.
I think that right in your face, Cave of Fear, right in your face. First thing you think about is that assault fort. Then the next thing you think about is, I may have gotten some purchase in the south. How much? There wasn't much here. What was he doing in the north? Oh man, what's happening up there? You get a little paranoia about that. Especially if you haven't scouted it yet, and you're not sure. But he definitely saw that Royalistville, I think, when he had Azura up there, and he sees that.
Yep.
So he's just playing off that. I think that about sums it up for this game, right?
Yeah. I think that, like you said, that might have really been it, that he saw that Royalist village or that Royalist town having been taken, and it might have made him paranoid, felt like he had to make like some big move where he could have made the obvious big move and just attacked Tau's main. Like, he probably could have pushed through over here, honestly.
Yeah. And if he was really paranoid about a counterattack, he could make a lot of short companies or something, some Lancers, and just kind of patrol his territory while he did that.
Yeah. But such as it is, I understand the decision. BoNT felt like he made a really stupid error and immediately realized it and didn't want to just take all the mental anguish the rest of the game. He wanted to just make it 1-1 in the series and move on.
Save his mental, yeah.
Okay, well, that is it for this video, and stay tuned for Game 3, everybody.